Hey everybody, it's SlickestHitz coming to you with another card review recap. Probably the last one until we see the expansion, just because we're we're about a week away. We're joined today by OverlordMC. MC, how is it going?
Hello, everybody.
All right, so we have about 7 cards we're going to review. Again, we're not reviewing every single card that was announced or released, but we are trying to pay attention to some of the interesting ones or the cards that we like. So we'll jump right into this first card. It's a 3-mana dual class card for Rogue Warrior Coerce. It's a spell that destroys a damaged minion or combo, destroy any minion. So I think this is pretty good for targeted removal. It's pretty cheap if you're using it as an execute. Not the best, right? Because execute's 2 mana and you can do the same thing. But if you do combo it becomes a lot more interesting. It's like an assassination, but a little bit cheaper. I think it's actually more valuable for rogues than it is for warriors, just because warrior already has so much removable available with shield slams, executes, and things like that. I don't think rogue really has that ability to remove cards as well. So I think you'll definitely see it more in rogue. Not to say that warriors won't play this as well. This is good removal. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5.
I
MC,
want to
how do
say
you
the
feel about
same.
this?
Actually, the analysis you gave is exactly what I was gonna say. That it was pretty much a worse execute, but with the combo, it's a technically cheaper or conditional assassinate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this might be what Rogue might need for a little bit more single target removal since they've been lacking in the past meta. But yeah, I'll say probably 3 out of 5 for both classes.
All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and jump right into the next card. It is a 7-mana dual class card for druids and hunters, guardian animals. And the spell effect is summon 2 beasts that cost 5 or less from your deck. Give them rush. MC, what do you think about this one?
This card's bonkers. I'm honestly just gonna say right off the bat. In the application of Druid, I want to say, you already have things like, what is that, 6/8 Guardian? The one that's
Oh, the
untargetable, Reborn.
reborn one?
Yeah. So that's a good card. You got the Marsh.
I don't think so. I don't actually think you, because this summons beasts that cost 5 or less.
Oh, 5 or less. Oh shit. Okay, so, um, I still think there might be some utility. I think with other cards that were revealed that there's some, what you call it, some more beast synergies even within Druid. But if you look in the Hunter side of it, making a King Crush and some other beast for 7. Oh wait, I forgot. It's not. Yeah. This changes my whole whole thought process. But I mean, with 5 costs, I'm assuming there's gonna be some decent ones that you can cheat out for pretty decent. I want to say maybe this might be a 3 though for both
Okay.
classes.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw this in the teaser video today, it came in really good situation after you've already buffed your whole deck by +4/+4 by survival
Hmm.
of the fittest or whatever like that. So in those kind of situations, this card is going to be great. I don't really think it's going to be that good in Hunter. And I think it's only going to be situational in like a big druid with all those buffs and things like that. Just because, I mean, yeah, it's good to get 2 minion. If you high roll it and you get 2 5 drops for 7 mana with Rush, that's great. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, I don't know if I necessarily see this card being really good. I'd only give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah. I will say for anyone watching this, read your cards.
Haha. All right, let's jump into the next one. We have a Paladin epic card, Argent Braggart. The 1/1 minion with a battle cry that says gain attack and health to the highest to match the highest in the battlefield. I think this card is crazy. I think it's
Mm.
really good for Paladin. It gives them another big, not so sticky, but a really big minion, or the ability to be a really big minion for very low value. Your opponent
Mm.
cheats out a huge Edwin on turn 3. Boom, here you go. I got one too. You keep this in your hand for the late game, and you have some removal with the legendary Turian. Boom, right here we have something else that's just as big and sticky that's going to be on the board. So I think it's really good. I think you're going to see it in a lot of Paladin decks. I'm going to give it a 5.
Ooh, nice. I might be a little less generous and give it a 4. Um, Only because I think it's definitely gonna be great against, like, well, I mean, it's gonna be part of the meta, I believe, with just how much power creep there's gonna be. So there's gonna be a lot of big targets that you can target this with, or use this for. Um, but I just don't know because control is always still gonna be a thing. Cheap aggro, so maybe those are the instances where I see it just might be stuck in your hand a little bit. But who knows? Yeah, I still think it's a really strong card.
And what I also like about it, sorry, I'm coming back in for it, is
Hmm.
that it copies the attack of the highest minion, and I believe it'll also copy the health of the highest minion. So that doesn't necessarily. So let's say there's a 4/2 Huffer and a
Mm.
2/5 Bone Wrath. This thing becomes a 5/2 or a 4/5. So I don't. I think it's going to be
Ah.
really versatile and pretty good. But okay, let's move on to the next one. We have another Paladin card. Maybe we should have separated these out before going in, but whatever. It's a spell, 5 mana, Blessing of Authority, and give a minion +8/+8. It cannot attack heroes this turn. What do you feel about this card, MC?
Ooh, 8/8 is very strong for 5 mana. Because that's in between Blessing of the Kings and Pharaoh's Blessing, which is a 6 cost, and Pharaoh only does 4/4 with Divine Shield, which is okay. But this is giving you 8/8, and yeah, the condition of not attacking a hero is like it's there, but I think just being a threat of an 8/8 on top of whatever you put it on for 5 is really good. So I want to say, but then again, I don't know what kind of strategies there's going to be, so maybe I'll give this more of a 3.
Okay, I mean, I think this card is really good. The caveat of not being able to attack heroes is pretty big, but I don't think it's big enough to make this card only cost 5 mana. You have Dino Size back a few expansions ago. That was a 10 cost card that I believe it was 10 or 8. One of
Mm-hmm.
those, but it gave your minion +10/+10 and costed a whole bunch of mana. You have Blessing of Kings, which is a 4 cost that is +4/+4. This is so much. 8/8 is a lot. That's a lot of stats.
That's a
So
lot.
you play this with a 1-drop on turn 6 or something like that. Yeah, it can attack, but hey, it doesn't have charge or anything like that to begin with. So now your opponent has to just deal with this huge thing. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm going to give it, oof. I want to give it like a 3.5 or a 4. I think I'm going to give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4. I
Okay.
think it's pretty good. All right, so let's jump
Yeah,
into
definitely.
the next card. Here we have a 1 mana dual class card for Hunters and Demon Hunters. It's a weapon, True Aim Crescent. After your hero attacks a minion, your minions attack it too. This is a pretty interesting card. Um, I think it gives you the ability to have all your minions go face, and then you can just use this to pick off one minion at a time or something like that. I don't know how good it's gonna be. A 1 mana minion, a 1 mana weapon is pretty good in Demon Hunter, right? Now you pair this with your hero power for 3 or 4 turns, and you get a lot of utility and a lot of benefit out of it. Um, with that being said, I mean, both classes really do value having weapons, so I would probably give this about a 3 out of 5. MC, how do you feel about it?
3 out of 5. I thought it was a little bit stronger. I want to give it more of a 4 out of 5, just because of the fact that if you have things on board that can swing, um, and then you swing with this weapon. So it's like you kind of get double utility out of it. Yeah, it's like a 1 attack, but 4 durability is pretty strong for 1 cost. And definitely for both classes, it's very strong. Uh, Maybe might even start use or might see more of that card Blur, which you didn't really see this much in this meta, but it might be useful with this card. So that's why I want to give it a 4.
And I mean, thinking about it, I guess it is also really good if you want to pair it up with things like your Satyrs, your Gladebound Adepts, things like that. So you have these 4 charges that you don't have to waste a hero power for, and you don't have to time your Umberwing for. So this way you
Mm-hmm.
can really tempo out that Satyr a lot easier if you have this on turn 1. Although, sure, yeah, you want to play your Battle Mage and things like that. But I think there's definitely utility to be found here.
Oh, for sure, for
All
sure.
right, let's move on to the next card that we have. It is a Legendary Priest card for 2 mana. It's a 1/3 with a Battle Cry. Or it's Mind Render Ellucia. Sorry, it was a tough one for me to pronounce. And the battle cry is swap hands and decks with your opponent until your next turn. How do you feel about this, MC?
Hmm. I don't really, I don't really like the card, but I feel like it's definitely gonna be great for disruption. Um, like swapping hands and deck with your opponent next turn, and say that was the turn that they're about to go off with their OTK or some kind of combo. But the caveat is that they could mess up the cards in your hand. So maybe if you're playing some kind of like Togwaggle deck where your hands and cards don't really matter, maybe that's the application. But that's the only way I kind of see is more for disruption. Um, so I don't really see any combo oriented things with this, so I'm gonna actually maybe give it 2 out of 5. Yeah, I'll go 2 out of 5.
I'm amazed. I think this is a 5 out of 5 card, MC.
5 out of 5.
The
Okay,
reason
I'm
why
bad
this
at this.
it's a 2 mana priest card, so you can throw it into a Galakron priest and things like that, and it automatically has the ability to disrupt any combo deck that you're playing against. You play it against Quest Warlock, and then you play both of their Soulfires. You play it against Quest Mage. Oh, there's your Sorcerer's Apprentice. Now they're on the field for me. Yeah, it gives your opponent the opportunity to take advantage of what's in your hand, which can be very detrimental to you. But I think in the situations that you are comfortable playing this card, you're not going to have your Galakron in your hand. You're not going to have a Nozar or a Mozdormu in your hand and things like that. But this is nasty. People hate Priest already, and they're going to hate it even more.
Oh, for sure. So maybe I could bump it
Nope,
if I
no taking it
can.
back. No
Okay,
taking it back. All right. I believe we have one card left, and we do. It is Shield of Honor. It is a 1 mana dual class card for Paladin. Excuse me, for Paladin and Warrior. And it's a spell card that gives a damage minion +3 attack and Divine Shield for 1 mana. I think this is a really good card. I'm probably going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think it fits right into the Risky Skipper Enrage build. You give this to a Corcoran Elite after Battle Rage and you copy it. Poof. You give this to a Grom after you Inner Rage. Poof. There is a lot of utility that can be found in this 1 mana card. So I think it's going to be really good. It's definitely going to see play. It might be a 5 out of 5, but I'm going to give it a 4 for now. How do you feel, MC?
Actually, I want to say the same. It actually incorporates like a lot of cards in this. From the Warrior side, cheap Enrage without the +3 health, but Divine Shield, definitely makes up for that. And then on the Paladin side, it's kind of like that one cost that just gives you +3 attack. There is a condition of it being damaged, but giving Divine Shield, I think, is really strong. And again, it's only 1 mana, so I want to say this card's gonna be pretty nuts. I mean, I don't see it's gonna be auto include maybe in every deck, but definitely you might see it within the first couple weeks or so.
Okay, so that's all the cards that we're going to review today. We have a little bit more time until we hit that 15-minute mark. So, MC, any general takeaways from this upcoming expansion?
I will say it's gonna shake up the meta. It's kind of what I've been waiting for, honestly. There's been a lot of nerfs in the past couple metas. Demon Hunter, is the first time they ever included a new class over for many years. So I think they really had to shake things up. Just because it's like, there's other classes, and I definitely want to see a more spread out meta. I want to see some crazy bonkers kind of boards, but at the same time, too, hopefully it's not too degenerate.
Right. I mean, I definitely think that they might be approaching the highest power level increase in the game that I've seen, and I've been playing the game like I don't know since 2014 almost, and it's nice to see, right? Because people were so tired and exhausted of what's been going on for the last 3 months. Albeit there's more reason that people are playing video games in Hearthstone right now, so it being stale is understandable, but the power level of this new expansion seems crazy. Multiple classes getting really, really unique new mechanics. Very powerful legendary cards, very powerful tempo swing cards. I can't wait for what the next 3 months has in store for us. What I will say is, if you can, community, Hearthstone watchers, Hearthstone players, try not to hit that auto dust button, because the nerfs will be coming. And when the nerfs come, you get more dust for those duplicates that you have. So I know it's tempting to dust what you got and make that legendary you really want. But if you can hold on to it, maybe do it.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be all for us today. MC, thank you very much for the help.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
And if you do like the content, please subscribe to the YouTube, as well as follow me on Twitter and Twitch. That is www.twitch.tv/SlickestHitz or twitter.com/SlickestHitz. Thank you very much, everybody, and enjoy the games.